How's it going? This is Mr. Kieffer again, and we are going to work on making the tool. And you can find that down in the attachment down below in Google Classroom, which is right here. And then to get started, of course, we start with Tinkercad. Just click on that and then put in your nickname that you received in your email. And we'll be good to go. Now, this is a pretty straightforward, I don't know why we call it the tool, but I guess I couldn't come up with a better name for it. Basically, in this project, we're going to make the overall box, and we will remove three other boxes from it. So that's my strategy. It's the subtractive approach. Whereas when we did the step here, we had the additive approach on the little ledge that sticks out. We added that to it. And so, different approaches for different situations is what you're going to need to do. So here we go. We'll create a new design. And like I was talking about, it is good to, in your mind, think, well, how am I actually going to do this? And it's helpful to kind of think through that in the process that you're going to be doing. Nice thing about videos is that you can watch them over and over and over again and pick up things maybe you didn't catch the first time. It's a really nice tool to have, actually. All right, well, let's go ahead and just change this name right away. We'll call this tool. Well, that's done. And then we will also want to change the grid to, let's see, that all dimensions are in inches. So yes, we'll want to change it to inches. And then we'll update the grid. Perfect. So now we've got that done. And now it's just a matter of starting out with the basic shape. Now my picture is kind of in the way, so I always just have to slide this up and down. And we'll click on box. And we will click right there. It doesn't really matter where you start. And then we will want to make, I'm going to get this smaller so that I can see the picture better. So we're going to go up and down, or the height is going to be, let's see here, that would be 2.5. 2.5 is the height, and hit enter. And now we can click right here and click there. We'll go with the depth, and that's going to be 2. And then I like to hit tab, and then it jumps to the other dimension, and that would be 4.5. 4.5, and then hit enter. Now let's see, is that about what it should be? Let's kind of double check. Yep, that's 2 and 4.5. That looks good. We're off to a good start. Now, as you look at this, we can kind of turn it like that and kind of get an idea of where we're at with this. So we are going to cut a little piece out of the front here, and then we're going to cut a piece out of the back side, and then one more right here. So those 3 things we need to do, and they need to be done in the right dimension and the right location. And so let's go ahead and where shall we start? I think we should start on the end right here. We'll make a plane right here. We'll make sure that this is lined up with that plane, and then we'll draw the boxes in the right place and the cutting boxes, if you will, the clear ones. So let's go ahead and pick up a work plane, go to this side, and I'm going to click on the right side here. That'll give me a straight on view. As we look at that, we realize that, hey, this isn't lined up with the grid, so we need to do that and get it lined up with the grid. And then what we do with the other things will work so much better. Okay, so we've got it lined up with the grid. And we are going to want to make a rectangle and a box that goes like that to cut that. Oh, no, it looks like it's going to be from the top down like this and then over that way. So let's go ahead and find that shape that cuts. There we go. We'll go with a cylinder. And we can actually just put it right on here anywhere because we'll be able to move it around to where we want it to be in just a minute. And so the first thing I think we can do is let's go right here, click there, and the up and down, the height of this is going to be 2. Whoop, lost that. Let's get over here. That needs to be 2. And then let's hit tab. A little bit smaller so we can see what we're doing. And the depth going in is going to be 0.5. Hit enter. And now going the other, it has to go the other direction. So it's got to go on, it's got to be a negative. So we'll click here, we'll go negative. And it needs to go a distance of 4.5. Oh, and then hit enter. So that should go all the way through it. And then let's go back to this straight on view of the right view. And I am going to switch to orthographic here. So it is going to be straight on. And what I'm going to do then is move this piece. And one thing too, if you have a mouse, you can push down on the roller and you can slide things where you want it to be. So let me go ahead. I'm just using the arrows now and I'm moving this over. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so we can see the whole thing. We know it needs to go all the way to the top. And there should be a 1/2 inch, so that would be 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. And it should be flush with the top and the outside, which it is. So that's good. We have that piece. So when we combine those two pieces together, that will cut that out. But we also have this other piece right here that needs to be cut out. So let's go ahead and work on that as well. Whoop. So here we go. Make it a little bit smaller so we can get a better idea of where we're at. And so we'll bring this piece over. We can put it right there. The size of it, well, let's go with the depth first here. That needs to be a negative 4.5 and hit enter. Okay, so that's good. We know it's going to go all the way through the back. And let's click here and click on this one, up and down to the bottom. That would be 1.5, 1.5, and then hit tab. Go to the other number, which is across left and right, and that would be 1. So that is what it is now. So that's good. We'll leave it right there. Okay, so we got 1 that way, and we've got 1.5 that way. Perfect. So now it's just a matter of hitting your arrow keys and putting it in the right place. And we know it needs to be all the way to the bottom. And just to make sure that this is where it needs to be, we'll turn it to the right view, right side view. It's all lined up. It looks good. We'll back out of that again and we'll turn it like this. And we'll make it a little bit smaller. And then we'll just make this box around it like that. It has 3 shapes, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to combine them or group them together. There it is. And so now we have a shape like that. The next thing we need to do is make a plane right here and then just cut that out. But let's get rid of this other plane. So we'll go to work plane and we'll click right here and we'll get rid of this other plane. And you will notice that it has sunk below the line, which we will fix that later. Might be kind of nice to actually choose the shape and slide it more towards the center of the work plane. But even that is unnecessary. It's just, I like the way it looks better. So that's what I like to do. Okay, so basically right now we still need to cut this piece out. And that will finish off what we need to do. And according to the dimensions, that piece is going to be 1.5 by 1.5. Is that correct? Yep, 1.5 and 3, 1.5. That is correct. So let's go ahead and create a work plane. And we are going to click on the front so we just see it straight up front. And again, we need to move the piece because it is not lined up with the graph. There we go, just get it lined up. And now we'll be able to use the arrow keys in the part that we're making. So that's good. We've got that lined up. I want to turn it just slightly so we can see what we're doing. And we can bring this piece over. Actually, it's going to be over there, but it doesn't matter. We'll move it later. And so let's first of all click right here, and we'll get those dimensions correct. So that needs to be 1.5, and then hit tab. And this one needs to be 1.5, and hit enter. Okay, so that's the size of it, but also we need to get it going in the right direction. Instead of 1, let's see, what should that be? We'll take a look in just a second here. That needs to be a 1.5, or it could be more because it'll cut out whatever, but at least it needs to be a negative. It's got to go the opposite direction than it is right now. So we'll go negative 1.5, and that should bring it all the way to the other side. And it does. So now let's go to the front view and then just move that to the right place. We can move it wherever we want. We can put it way over here. We can put it up here, put it down here. But of course, we want it to cut off this complete corner just like that. And so we'll go ahead and turn this. And you can see that box. What it's going to do, it's going to remove that material right there. And so let's make this a little bit smaller so it's easy to just draw this box all the way around. It should say 2 shapes, which it does. And we're going to make that into one shape by combining or grouping them together. So we do that, and it removes that piece. And it's always good to get rid of this work plane. So the way you do that is you go click on work plane, click on the original work plane, and then that removes it. And so we basically have the shape. The only problem is that it's sinking in the water a little bit. And so I think it would be good to go ahead and get that back above the water. And the way you do that is you grab the ruler, bring it around just somewhere here. It doesn't have to be anywhere specific for what we're doing right now, because I just want to pull it up. Click it there, and then click on the object. And now we're going to look for something that has a negative side. A negative, is that negative? No. Oh, here's the negative. That is under the plane or under the water, the way I see it. I'm going to click on that and type in 0 and then enter. And that will lift it back up onto the work plane where it's supposed to be. And then I guess you just get this here, you hit escape, and it goes away. I don't know how else to do it, but that seems to work. And so now basically we have completed what I have labeled as the tool. and it looks pretty good. You can twist it around, see different angles, different size. But that's what it looks like when you're done. And we can go back to home, see what it does. And we can turn it the way it is in the picture that you're given in Google Classroom in the attachment. So there it is. And we'll go ahead, and it's called the tool. So let's save it. And this will take a little bit, and you won't see it, but right on the back side of this, it's actually saying saving work or something like that. I forget off the top of my head here, but it's actually saving it, and I will be able to see your work and give you credit. That's basically what your grade is all about, is actually drawing these drawings. Once you've proven to me that you can do that, I'll give you full credit. So there you go. There's the tool. I hope that's helpful. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I want to thank you for your hard work and for hanging in there. I know it can be challenging at times, but hopefully you're enjoying learning how to do 3D modeling.